So for me, I want to live in a state of being grateful and blissful now, not waiting for some future place or date that may never arise.
Not free of challenge, not free of difficulty, free of worry. I learned how to do it, and you can.
And start doing the best that you can to be the best makeup of who you are as a person. It's time for you to start moving on with your life. Today is today, but tomorrow is a new day, and we don't know exactly what tomorrow's going to bring.
To find our purpose, we must start with the premise that we all have one. We all have a purpose on this earth. At any given moment, on any given day, we are where we are to impact someone else's life for the better. That's a big statement, and some of you will disregard it, whether you believe it or not, whether you think. Our life is simply random, loaded with coincidences. I'm here to tell you that you are here just as I am here to do more than make a living.
You're probably going to have some suffering to get there, or some sacrifice to get there. And so once you've embraced and decided that this suffering, this sacrifice you're making is an indicator of progress, it's an indicator of obsession. Suffering and sacrifice and hard work is an indication of progress towards our dreams. The lack of sacrifice, the lack of suffering in our lives, its removal, its non-existence also equates to a non-existence of a great life, a non-existence of a dream happening, a big one anyway. And so embrace the fact that you're going to have to sacrifice and suffer to some extent. Once you've embraced that it's going to happen, it's almost not that bad. You've sort of accepted that before you go to the gym and get there, you're going to have to suffer. And we go anyway, it becomes a habit. No one goes into a gym thinking, I'm not going to have to sacrifice or suffer. There'll be no discomfort or no pain.
Here's the next attitude disease. Over-caution. Some people never will have much. They're too cautious. Now, you can also be too reckless, but you can also be too cautious. This is called the timid approach to life. And my caution was always the risk. Risk used to drive me right up the wall. I used to say, what if this happens? It's called the language of the poor. What if this happens? And on top of that, if this was to happen, look at the fix I'd be in. I'd better not try. I could always ace myself out. Then I'll tell you what changed my whole life when I finally discovered it's all risky.
But millions of people go anyway, don't they, to the gym? On some level, they're suffering in the gym, whether it's breathing heavy or sweating or aches or pains or stress. You know, everything in the gym is a sacrifice, and to some extent, you're suffering, going through some pain. You know it before you go, don't you? Yet most of us go all the time. I play these very strange games with myself when I'm at the gym. When I'm working out, I always do one extra rep, one extra set, because it's a promise I kept to myself. And here's the biggest thing. It's a pattern. It's a pattern I keep of me. I always do a little extra. I always go the extra inch. And the quickest and easiest place to do it is the gym, because I can always grab one more weight, one more set. And here's what it does. It shifts your identity. When I was small, I was also really undersized. So it's probably one of the reasons I lift weights. I was always, every baseball picture, I'm the kid holding the sign in front. I was small and skinny. They used to tease me, Eddie Spaghetti, and I'd get bullied at school, and I never retaliated.
We are meant to do more than get up in the morning, shower and brush our teeth and go to work, spend the day at work, come home, watch television and eat dinner, go to sleep and do the exact same thing the next day, the next week, the next decade. We were meant for more than going through the motions. More than simply earning a paycheck. More than following the best new television series. More than comparing notes about the vacation we just came back from, or the next one we're planning.
The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Going into business is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive. That's risky. The Englishman says, well, if that's the way it's going to work out, let's give it a go. Right, that's what it's for. Give it a go. Somebody says, yeah, but I'm looking for safety and security. Fine, then huddle in a corner. We'll cover you with a sheet, bring you 3 meals a day. And we'll protect you, feed you, look after you, care for you. We won't let anything happen to you. And you'll probably live to be 100.
It is the thing that makes us extraordinary. It's the thing that says, in this environment, respond like this. So you can go to the gym and bust your ass and train your body and change your physique. And we've all seen it happen with bodybuilders. We all get that they came out of the womb weak just like everybody else, and they put themselves under an ungodly amount of stress and strain, and they pushed themselves every day, and they had this just unimaginable amount of discipline. And from that, they are able to transform themselves into somebody completely unrecognizable. It is amazing. And because it happens on the outside, we all get it. We all believe in it. We look at athletes and we understand that they work their way there. But we don't look at Gary Kasparov and realize he did the same thing, because what's happening in the mind seems invisible. We can't see it. We don't understand what's happening. And so as shame was the only thing that would drag me out of bed, I didn't understand that the same thing I believed to be true of my body was true of my mind. But thank God, I was sliding towards depression.
But let's just hope that we're all in it together. Making the possibilities a reality, people. Look around you today. Look at what's going on in our world. Look at what the society that we're living in. Look at what we have become. As a people, we're stressed out, we're worried, we have no sense of opportunity or light around us because we're too focusing on the things that we can't do anything about. But what can we do about ourselves? What can we change within us? We're being distracted.
Because in sliding towards depression, I didn't want to feel that way anymore. I didn't want to be ashamed when my girlfriend came home and I had gotten out of bed just moments before in a panic. I didn't want to have the conversation anymore where my girlfriend had to pull me aside and say, it's not cool that you're wearing your pajamas all day. It's not cool that you never do your hair. And I began to make a choice. And that choice was, at that time, there was a hot debate going on as to whether or not the brain was truly plastic. Now, this seems self-evident now because people talk about it all the time, but back then it was actually a debate. Were you born with a certain number of neurons and that was all you were going to have, and at the end of your life, you were only going to be declining, or could you actually learn new things? When I was a kid, the adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, was like, everyone just believed it. But because of that, I found myself putting myself in smaller and smaller rooms because, and this is going to be the most important thing that I say today, of this I assure you.
Gee, I don't care what you do, what you earn, what you have, what you're worth, what your parents did, or whether they were even around, where you grew up, or what schools you attended, or what you believe is holding you back from making big things happen in big ways. You have a purpose, and only you can determine what that purpose is. And only you can plan to make that purpose a reality. And only you can do the hard work to achieve that purpose. If you don't believe you have a purpose, and I can't convince you otherwise, then you may as well put this book down.
We're being misled. We are afraid. We're letting things control us instead of us taking control of our own lives and being strong each and every day of our lives. I made it this far for a reason. You made it this far for a reason. Now it's up to you to make a difference. Now it's up to you to keep moving on. Stop putting yourself in a box. Stop stressing so much. Stop worrying so much. And take the life that is in your hands and make it count. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, if you do not hold on to the goodness within you, then all the bad things that are surrounding you right now would ultimately destroy your possibilities and taking yourself further in your life.
It's not for you. But if you want, give me and yourself the benefit of the doubt. Keep reading, because you were meant to do great things. Don't lose sight of that. Believe it because it's true. We all have a purpose, to the truth that we all have a big, impactful purpose. Yes, not only do you have purpose, which is your life's mission to fulfill, but that purpose is no small and consequential one.